Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Nabebe Muhammad Nazri and my matrix number is 01DK820F1057. So I'm from DKA3C. First of all, I would like to thanks to Puan Norashimah binti Abdul Hamid for giving me this opportunity to talk about uniform flow and steady flow. So as you guys can see on this slide, I will tell you guys the definition of uniform flow and steady flow. So first is uniform flow. If the flow velocity is the same magnitude and direction at every point in the fluid, it is said to be uniform. And the second is non-uniform. If at a given instant the velocity is not the same at every point, the flow is non-uniform. But in practice, by this definition, every fluid that flows near a solid boundary will be non-uniform, as the fluid at the boundary must take the speed of the boundary, usually for 0. However, if the size and shape of the cross-section of the stream of fluid is constant, the flow is considered to uniform. The third is steady. A steady flow is one in which the condition, which is velocity, pressure, and cross-section, may differ from point to point but do not change with time. The fourth is unsteady. If at any point in the fluid, the condition change with time, but the flow is described as unsteady. In practice, there is always slight variation in velocity and pressure, but if the average value are constant, the flow is considered to steady. After we combining the second slide, which is definition of uniform flow and steady flow, we can classify any flow into one of four types. So the first is steady uniform flow. Conditions do not change with position in the stream or with time. An example is the flow of water in a pipe of constant diameter at constant velocity. The second is steady non-uniform flow. Conditions change from point to point in the stream but do not change with time. An example, in flow in a tapering pipe with constant velocity at the inlet, velocity will change as you move along the length of the pipe toward the exit. The third is unsteady uniform flow. At a given instant in the time, the conditions at every point are the same but will change with time. An example is a pipe of constant diameter connect to a pump pumping at a constant rate, which is the switch off. The lastly is unsteady non-uniform flow. Every condition of the flow may change from point to point and with time at every point. For example, wave in a channel.
Steady uniform flow. An ideal fluid maintains the same velocity at all times and at each point. This is called steady uniform flow. The velocity is always 2 meters per second at all time and at all position. Just remember, at all times word makes it steady and at each point makes it uniform. Steady non-uniform flow. Notice how the velocity profile changes, but it stays the same quantitative value, that is 5 meters per second. So the velocity is constant with time, which makes it steady, but it is different from one location to the next. So it is not uniform. If you calculate the average area between these two velocity profile shapes, you will get the same result, but their shape is different in different location, so not a uniform flow. Unsteady uniform flow. Notice velocity of fluid is not constant in same tube. From 0 to 2 seconds, it is flowing in and out with 2 meters per second, and again from 2 to 4 seconds, it is flowing in and out with 4 meters per second, so velocity is changing with time. This makes it unsteady flow. Even though velocity changes, it is flowing in and out uniformly. But in this condition, the in and out position of velocity changes within the tube, which makes it non-uniform flow. Please subscribe for more videos like this.
So guys, on the last slide, I will tell you guys the comparison between uniform flow and steady flow. So if the magnitude and direction of the flow rate is the same at every point in the fluid, it is said to be uniform flow. In other words, uniform flow is one that does not vary over space. For example, a flow of 1000 liters per hour at 1 kilogram force per centimeter second is an uniform flow. If the flow rate, pressure and direction differ from point to point but do not change with time, it is said to be a steady flow. In other words, a steady flow is one that does not vary over time. For example, a flow of 1000 liters per hour is a steady flow. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching.